What's the hardest thing you've ever had to do? For many, it's saying goodbye to someone you love. For others, it's making tough decisions with far-reaching consequences. For me, it was keeping my cool while my world was falling apart. They say family is everything. That blood is thicker than water. But I learned the hard way sometimes blood is poison. Here's my story. 1 year ago, a stranger texted me claiming to be my half-sister. Her mother was my dad's second wife, the same dad who passed away 6 months ago. Her message shocked me, bringing back memories I thought I'd buried forever. Our father had been distant. All I knew was that he had a second family. He supported both households, but he rarely spent time with me or called me. When I heard he was sick, I flew to see him in California, but by then it was too late. On his deathbed, he confessed having another child, a daughter named Jasmine. He apologized for keeping it a secret, saying he wanted to protect me. He claimed he had no contact with Jasmine's mom, that he hadn't seen Jasmine in years. Then he died. A few days later, I received 2 separate packages. One held a box of personal items from our father. Inside, I found photos of Jasmine and me as kids. There we were at Disneyland, at my birthday parties, playing at the beach. There were pictures of Jasmine and our parents, our father holding her in his arms, my father. And then there was a letter. In neat handwriting, it read, "Dear John, Jasmine is your half-sister. She's an amazing kid, kind, funny, smart. I'm sorry about the circumstances, but please take care of her for me. Signed, Mom." It was clear our father hadn't been honest with me. He must have seen Jasmine regularly. It hurt knowing I had a sister I barely knew, but I vowed to honor my father's wish to look after her. Jasmine, now 23, had recently graduated university. She moved in with me in New York City. Now here we were, 2 strangers getting to know each other in a city neither of us truly called home. I was determined to make it work. I enrolled her in acting classes, bought her favorite foods, tried to be the big sis I never had. Yet despite our efforts, our relationship felt strained. And then the incident happened. I got a call from my building manager. Someone had broken into my apartment. He showed me the damage to my door. I thanked him and headed to the bathroom. There was glass everywhere, shards on the floor, streaks down the walls. My reflection stared back, pale and shaken. I cleaned the mess, patched up the door. No point calling the cops. Nothing was stolen. I was shaken. And then Jasmine came home. She seemed nervous. What had happened to her? Was she involved? I asked. Nothing, I swear. Her voice shook. Who did this? Whoever it was, they meant to hurt you. I don't know. I promise. Please believe me. Tears welled up in her eyes. I saw fear, pain, sadness. Suddenly, my heart broke for her. This wasn't Jasmine's fault. I embraced her, whispering comfort. But as the days passed, more strange things happened. Keyboards were smashed, windows shattered. Each time I found Jasmine covered in cuts, bruises, tearful and frightened. I felt helpless, angry, desperate. I couldn't bear seeing her like this. One day I brought Jasmine to a therapist. She specializes in trauma and dissociation. After a few sessions, the therapist spoke with me. Jasmine has dissociative disorder, a coping mechanism for extreme stress, a way to escape a traumatic reality. She doesn't remember certain events, periods of time, even basic information about herself. It's like parts of her mind are missing. She said Jasmine experienced horrific abuse growing up. As children, she and my father had a special bond. They did everything together. They went to Disneyland. They celebrated birthdays. They cooked meals together. The last picture our father took was of Jasmine and me. He must have sensed something was wrong. He probably thought by capturing this moment, he was preserving a part of his shattered life. But all that changed when I turned 18. Dad stopped calling. He never told Jasmine or me why. Then he passed away without even saying goodbye. According to the therapist, Jasmine's dissociation began after I moved in with her. She explained that Jasmine feels threatened, sensing danger lurking around her. I felt devastated. All this time, I thought I was gaining her trust, helping her heal. But I was wrong. My presence triggered her trauma. To protect her, I had to send her away. But where could she go? I didn't know her friends or relatives. She'd be alone and vulnerable. And then I remembered my Aunt Claire. Claire is like a second mother to me. I haven't spoken to her in a while, but I knew she'd help. I called her, explained the situation. She agreed to take Jasmine in. I drove Jasmine to Aunt Claire's house, the happiest place I know. Surrounded by my aunt's warm embrace, Jasmine slowly began to open up. I visited often, hoping to ease her pain. But as weeks turned into months, Jasmine remained distant. I understood my presence overwhelmed her. She needed space. I respected that, yet I couldn't shake this feeling of guilt. Every time I looked at Jasmine, I saw fear. She shrank from my touch. She flinched at my voice. It tore me apart. I loved her like a sister, yet I couldn't approach her without causing her pain. I felt so helpless. One evening, Aunt Claire and I sat on the porch swing. Jasmine was inside. "She hasn't spoken to me in 2 weeks," Claire said softly. "I know. I'm sorry. She needs me, but she also needs space. You know, I used to think that inviting Jasmine into my life would bring us closer, but I was wrong. My love, my attempt to fill the void in her life only caused her more pain. What am I doing wrong?" Silence. Sometimes the hardest thing you can do is let go. Let Jasmine go. Claire's words startled me. But she's my sister. How can I just let her go? Because right now, Jasmine is hurting more because of you than without you. It pains me to say this, John, but you're not her family. You're a stranger. Claire's words echoed in my ears long after she fell asleep. I walked Jasmine home from Aunt Claire's. She stared ahead, her usual detached expression on her face. We reached my doorstep. She turned to me. I knew what she wanted to say. "You don't have to stay. You can leave if you want. I know what I'm doing is wrong. I'm pushing you away." She shook her head, tears welling up. "No, stay. I need you. I need my big brother." I felt my heart shatter. I pulled her into the tightest hug I could muster. The next morning, I woke up early, a mix of emotions swirling within me. I knew it was time to let Jasmine take a step back. I needed to respect her boundaries, to give her the space she needed to heal. However, I couldn't simply walk away. I had a responsibility toward Jasmine, a duty that transcended blood ties. I decided to move into a small studio apartment a few blocks away. It wasn't a permanent solution, but it was a compromise. I would still be close enough to offer support, yet far enough to give Jasmine the room she required. It was a difficult decision, one that tore at my heartstrings, but I knew it was the right one. The thought of Jasmine finding peace, of her finally allowing herself to heal, gave me strength. I packed my belongings, each item heavy with emotion. Saying goodbye to Jasmine was like tearing off a bandage. It was painful, but necessary. As I locked the door to my new apartment, I made a promise to myself and to Jasmine. I would be patient. I would wait. And I would continue to show up, not as her brother, but as a steady presence in her life, hoping that one day she would be ready to let me in again.